if you think of like what is education, like you're basically downloading data and algorithms into your brain, and it's actually amazingly bad in conventional education, because like it shouldn't be like this huge chore. But I mean, I think a lot of the things that I would say you've probably heard 100 times. Like the more you can gamify the process of learning, the better. Like for my kids, I do not have to encourage them to play video games.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have to like pry them from their hands, like crack.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's like drop that crack needle.
Yeah, yeah. You have that problem at your house too.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
The crack is addictive. Yeah.
To the degree that you can make somehow learning like a game, then it's better. And I think, unfortunately, like a lot of education is very vaudevillian. You've got someone standing up there kind of lecturing at people, and they've done the same lecture 20 years in a row, and they're not very excited about it. And that lack of enthusiasm, is conveyed to the students. They're not very excited about it. They don't know why they're there. Like, why are we learning this stuff? We don't even know why. In fact, I think a lot of things people learn, probably there's no point in learning them, because they never use them in the future.
Because who's going to launch a rocket into space? I mean, that's just like,
yeah,
exactly. That never happens.
Well, you have to say, like, people, I think, don't stand back and say, well, why are we teaching people these things? And we should tell them probably why we're teaching these things. Because a lot of kids are just in school kind of puzzled as to why they're there. And I think if you can explain the why of things, then that makes a huge difference to people's motivation. Then they understand purpose.
Yeah.
You can't say no to the professor. The professor's going to give you the exam, and you've got to answer all the questions, or they'll get angry, and give you a bad grade. So then you always answer the question. A lot of the times you should say this is the wrong question. In fact, the question is definitely wrong to some degree, just how wrong. And I think just generally taking the approach that your design is some degree wrong, probably a lot more than you think. Your goal is to make it less wrong over time. Well, first of all, you don't need college to learn stuff, okay? Everything is available basically for free. You can learn anything you want for free. It is not a question of learning. There is a value that colleges have, which is like, seeing whether can somebody work hard at something, including a bunch of sort of annoying homework assignments, and still do their homework assignments, and kind of soldier through and get it done. That's like the main value of college. And then also you probably want to hang around with a bunch of people your own age for a while, instead of going right into the workforce. So I think colleges are basically for fun and to prove you can do your chores, but they're not for learning. Well, we have a lot of good people at SpaceX, a lot of really talented people. In fact, I wonder, like, sometimes how we can make use of their talents in the best way. I think we're often not using their talents in the best way. To the point of the question I was just asked, I want to make sure Tesla recruiting does not have anything that says requires university, because that's absurd. But there is a requirement of evidence of exceptional ability. Like, you just can't, if you're trying to do something exceptional, they must have evidence of exceptional ability. I don't consider going to college evidence of exceptional ability. In fact, ideally you dropped out and did something. Gates is a pretty smart guy, he dropped out. Jobs is pretty smart, he dropped out. Larry Ellison, a smart guy, he dropped out. I'm like, obviously not needed.
So,
did Shakespeare even go to college? Probably not.
Coming back to you looking for a CEO, apart from CEOs, when you hire people, what kind of skills do you want them to have?
Well, when I interview somebody, I really just ask them to tell me the story of their career, and what are some of the tougher problems that they dealt with, how they dealt with those, and how they made decisions at key transition points. And usually that's enough for me to get a very good gut feel about someone. And what I'm really looking for is evidence of exceptional ability. So did they face really difficult problems and overcome them? And then of course you want to make sure that if there was some
significant accomplishment, were they really responsible, or was somebody else more responsible? And usually the person who's had to struggle with the problem, they really understand it. And they don't forget.
Yeah.
If it was very difficult. So you can ask them very detailed questions about it, and they'll know the answer.
Okay.
Whereas the person who was not truly responsible for that accomplishment will not know the details.
Which college or university?
No, it's not. There's no need even to have a college degree
Okay.
at all, or even high school. If somebody